Yes. Yeah. Good evening, all. So myself, I'm Vijay. Like I hold 20 plus years of experience in different technologies. So as part of today's demo, I'll be covering the following things. But before that, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear?
Yes, sir, your voice is clear.
Yeah, thank you. Role of Azure Data Engineer. Role of Azure Data Engineer, right. Azure Data Engineering products. The one by one Azure Data Engineering products I'll be discussing. Means as a ADF developer, as a Databricks developer, as a Synapse or PySpark developer, right? We'll be interacting with some services. Yes. Job market. So this is what I'll be discussing as part of today's class by data engineer, role of Azure Data Engineer, Azure Data Engineering service and products, job market of Azure Data Engineer, right? Cloud. So everything in the cloud premises is cloud is majorly utilized for storing, analyzing, and delivering data in various forms. Okay. So if I talk about this cloud as compared with this on-premises, right? On-premises database, advantages of this cloud. Why we go for cloud as advantages of cloud over on-premises. So whatever this data engineering, this whatever we discuss on the on-premises, we can connect. But on the case of on-premises, we need to set up our own hardware infrastructure. The first thing, we need to maintain our own hardware infrastructure. On top of that, OS installation has to be done. Advantages of cloud or on-premises, we need to set up our own hardware infrastructure. On top of that, OS installation, and later like purchasing licenses for this. Or if you talk about anything like database license, see, more than the hardware, the cost of the software licenses will be more. Installation of database server, installation of database server, and designing database objects. See, we need to set up our own hardware infrastructure. On top of that, OS installation, purchasing database license, and installation of database server, designing database objects. Again, to maintain all this, yes, to maintain all this, we require separate team. We require separate teams. We require separate teams. Think like a hardware team is required. Like hardware team is required. Operating system team is required. Operating system team. Networking team is required. Security team. Database administrators. So hardware team, operating system team, networking team, security team, database administrators. But here, everything in the cloud. But here, everything in the cloud premises. Everything in the cloud premises. We no need to maintain all this. We no need to maintain all this in the case of cloud premises. Yes. No need of any licenses, no need of any infrastructure. Get everything in the cloud environment. So everything in the cloud. So if we talk data engineers with the help of cloud services, with the help of cloud services, work on data and make it structured. Yes. Data engineers with the help of cloud services, they work on data and make it structured and useful. Data engineers mainly responsible for data engineers responsible for smooth data flow from source to destination. Data engineers responsible for smooth data flow from source to destination. So data engineers responsible for preparing data. They are responsible for preparing data, cleansing data, filtering data, transforming data, processing data. So if I talk about these data engineers as compared with this, most of them ask the difference between these data engineers, data analyst, and data scientist. See, data scientist, if I talk, on the other side, data scientist and data analyst. In a simple way, data scientist, in a simple way, strategizes for the future. Strategizes for the future. In the case of data analyst, summarizes the past. So if I talk data scientist is going to analyze the data, he is going to identify the key patterns, recommendations for the future. Yes. Data analysts summarize the, he also going to analyze the data. Analyze the data. And is going to summarize the data of the past. Visualizing the data. Analyze the data, summarize the data of the past, and visualizing the data. See this difference between data scientist, strategizes for the future, the other thing summarizes the past, visualizing the data. Data engineer does all the groundwork, for data scientist and analyst. Data engineer does all the groundwork for data scientist and data analyst. More than 60% of data analysis work, data engineers. More than 60% of the data analysis work is done by data engineers. Yes. Now talking about this role of Azure data engineer and why Azure data engineers. Previously, we used to call them as ETL developers, right? ETL, extracting, transforming, and loading. Previously, we didn't have any kind of roles like data engineer, like Azure data engineers, right? So why Azure data engineers? Why Azure data engineers in demand today? Just check with this. An organization. This is an organization, right? It wants to increase the business revenue by utilizing the customer behavioral data on its website. So the organization using Azure for its operation. So it is going to hire two people. It is going to hire two people. Azure data engineer and data scientist. It's going to hire two people, Azure data engineer and data scientist. Firstly, the Azure data engineer, he is going to create a data warehouse. He is going to create a data warehouse, right, for the organization. What is a data warehouse? It is the storage of structured and queryable data. It is structured and we are able to, that is queryable data. It contains data from various resources. It contains data from various like new user logs, existing customers data, and the user clicks. Data engineer structures this data, stores it, and monitors it in data warehouse. Secondly, the data engineer communicates with the data scientist. As data engineer communicates with the data scientist to understand the data requirement. He also communicates, the data engineer communicates with the data science, sorry, with the business team. He communicates with the data scientist and also is going to communicate with the business team to know the business requirements of the organization. So he has to keep all this in mind, this business needs when dealing with the data in hand, right? Yes. He is the one who is going to prepare the data. He is the person who is going to pull the data, extract the data from different sources. For all that pulling the data, he need to know what are the various data sources from where he has to get the data from. So if to get the data, to what kind of data he has to get everything, right? So before that, he need to keep the business requirements, right? So later the data scientists, they are going to analyze and create insights from the processed data of data engineer. Then later the business team, they require some dashboard tools for visualizing the key insights. So this data engineers, right? They keep on constantly process, analyze, and monitors the data. This data engineers constantly they'll be processing, analyzing, and monitoring the data. They create pipelines. They create pipelines. Data pipelines, we say, right, through which the data is integrated with all the stages of the data flow. And also they also make sure that the pipeline is always efficient and secure without any data leaks. This is the primary role of Azure data engineer. This is the primary role of Azure data engineer, but one by one, I'll discuss the role of Azure data engineer. Role of Azure data engineer. Firstly, designing the entire data flow, designing the entire data flow architecture. data flow architecture from the source to the destination, and also uh, creating a data warehouse, creating a data warehouse for storage of analytical data, for storage of analytical data, right, right. So if you are just creating data warehouse, right, so it makes very fast and easy to query the data for analysis. And also one of the key tasks of this Azure Data Engineer ETL, extract, transform, load, extract, transform, load, extract, transform, load, ETL. It is one of the key tasks of data engineers. It is one of the key tasks of data engineers. Means we need to extract data from multiple sources. We need to extract data from multiple sources, transform it into queryable data, and load it into the company's, right, storage service for further business evaluations by the data scientist. Data monitoring. Data monitoring. Data engineers make sure that the ETL is performed in a proper way. Data engineers make sure that the ETL is performed in a proper way, and data is available anywhere it is required. So data is they make sure that the ETL is performed in a proper way, and data is available everywhere where it is required. And also like data security, and one of the other key task of this like data security. Data security means ensuring the data security means it's major responsibility. The data needs to be secure at each step of the process without any data leaks or exposure. And also like as I said, collaboration and communication, right? Yes, you need to collaborate and you need to communicate. He has to constantly communicate with the business team to check if that team needs the data insights, and also with the data scientist. Uh, you need to communicate with the data scientist to deliver the data as per their needs or as per their requirement. Analytics. So this data engineers analyze the data and transform it into structured and useful format. They need to have some strong analytical skills to perform this analysis. Excuse me. Automation means they have to automate certain processes. They have to automate certain process which requires minimal human intervention, such as data extraction process. Right. So these are the mainly like creating data warehouse and ETL, data monitoring, data security, right? Major role of Azure data engineer, designing the entire data flow, creating a data warehouse, extracting, transforming, and loading, data monitoring, data security, collaborating with this business team and data scientist. And what are the various data engineering products or services, and what we'll be discussing as part of our course. Azure data engineering products and services. Azure SQL, Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Azure Data Lake. Azure Data Lake Storage, we say ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage. Azure Synapse Analytics. Azure Data Factory. ADF is Azure Data Bricks. ADB. Azure Cosmos DB. Azure Streaming. Azure Key Vault. So these are the main Azure data engineering products or services. Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Factory, Databricks, Cosmos DB, Streaming, Key Vault, right? So in a single word, just I'll define them with a single word in a simple manner and in a single word, I'll just define them. Azure SQL. In a simple way, it is a cloud RDBMS. It is a cloud. It's a cloud RDBMS database. RDBMS database of Microsoft. It is a cloud RDBMS database of Microsoft in Azure. It's for OLTP operations, online transactional processing, for day-to-day active like transactional processing for end user transactions. And if I talk like Azure Data Lake in a simple way, Azure Data Lake. So if you want to store data in the form of tables, Azure SQL in the form of files, data lake, data storing the data in the form of files is data lake, the form of tables, Azure SQL. So some distributed file system, some file distributed file system with unlimited data storage, with unlimited some distributed file system with unlimited data storage in cloud. Distributed file system with unlimited data storage in cloud, that is data lake. So I can say it is a repository of large varieties of structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. Azure Synapse Analytics. So generally used for data warehouse operations. Used for data warehouse operations, used for big data operations. Parallel processing. Okay. So it's for data warehouse operations, big data operations, parallel process. Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory, ADF. Azure Data Factory, ADF. Yes. Yes. In a simple way, right? Yes. It is a cloud ETL. I can say it's a cloud ETL, just like on-premises ETL, right? Like Informatica, like Azure Data Factory, similar to that, but it is cloud-based. Cloud-based ETL. Cloud-based, simple way, cloud-based ETL of Microsoft. In Azure. In a simple way, it's a cloud-based ETL. So we have got Informatica, Talent. In this way, many ETL tools, unlike on-premises, right? But on cloud premise, we have got ADF. So here everything is drag and drop, zero coding. We won't write any code at all. Everything drag and drop. It's a code-free, zero coding ETL tool. Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks. It is a fast Apache Spark based data analytics platform. Data analytics. Apache Spark based means Spark is a very high speed processing technology, right? At a very high rate of speed, it is going to process huge data, that is big data, right? So it has got like in-memory computation, massive parallel process. It has got massive parallel process. At a very high rate of speed, it is going to process the data. So it is going to bring all that together, like data engineering, data science, and business. All this it is going to bring together. Next, Azure Cosmos DB. Azure Cosmos DB. In a simple way, like just like MongoDB, we have got Cosmos DB. This is cloud-based. That's it. It's a NoSQL database that is from cloud-based, like MongoDB. We have got many NoSQL databases. Cosmos DB is also a NoSQL database. NoSQL database means schemaless behavior. In the case of normal databases, schema compulsory, right? First record to last record, same number of fields or columns we need to maintain. But in the case of NoSQL databases, NoSQL, not only SQL. So in the case of NoSQL, schemaless behavior, record to record, a different number of columns or fields can be maintained. Many NoSQL databases like MongoDB, Cassandra, HBase, React, Peanut, Neo4j, right? In this way, many are there, right? Just like MongoDB, we have got Cosmos DB, but this is MongoDB is on premises, but here we have got like cloud. So Azure cloud-based NoSQL database. So just like MongoDB, here we got Cosmos DB, like NoSQL database, and Azure Streaming Analytics, Azure Streaming Analytics, analyzing, analyzing and processing, analyzing and processing high volumes, high volumes of streaming data, high volumes of streaming data from multiple sources, from multiple sources simultaneous. Analyzing and processing high volumes of streaming data from multiple sources simultaneously. What do you mean by streaming data? Data which keeps on incrementing, data which keeps on generating, keeps on incrementing. Such kind of data we call it as streaming data. So that streaming data, analyzing and processing it, that too from multiple sources simultaneously. And Azure Key Vault, 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 Azure Secure key management. Secure key management. To protect the data in the cloud. Secure key management for protecting the data in the cloud. Secure key management to protect. Okay, these are the different data engineering products or services. Azure SQL, in a simple way, it's a cloud RDBMS. Azure Data Lake, it's a kind of file system storing data in the form of files, that to unlimited data storage. Azure Synapse Analytics for data warehouse operations, for big data operations. Yes. And Azure Data Factory. It's a cloud-based ETL, cloud ETL or cloud-based ETL, Databricks, it's Apache Spark-based data analytics platform, Cosmos DB, it's a cloud-based NoSQL database, streaming analytics, say, processing or analyzing large volumes of streaming data, and Azure Key Vault, secure key management to protect the data in the cloud. Yes. So as part of this course, Azure Data Engineering, first one, ADF, Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory. ADF, no coding, no prerequisites for this. Anyone can update. So everything drag and drop. Zero coding ETL tool, we say. Yes. Apart from this, Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks. ADB. Azure Data Factory. Azure Databricks. Right. Azure Databricks with PySpark also will be discussed in brief here. Azure Databricks with PySpark. Azure Synapse Analytics. The single stop solutions for all this, Azure Synapse Analytics. So mainly the discussion will be on this for Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, PySpark, and Azure Synapse Analytics. Apart from that, you will be getting knowledge on this. You will be also getting knowledge on this Azure SQL. Means as Azure Data Lake. Azure Streaming. Azure Streaming. And Cosmos. Means as a ADF developer, or the Databricks developer, or PySpark developer, or the Synapse, you will be interacting with these things, right? You will be interacting with all this. So you will be getting this, means your data will be stored in the tables, or it will be table form of files, like on the form of NoSQL DB, right? So majorly this is the major discussion, right? So the course content you can observe here, right? Azure Data Factory, overview about all the resources first. What is Azure Data Factory? Data Factory architecture, Data Factory portal UI, top level components, pipelines, creating pipelines, organizing pipelines, debugging, publishing, linked services, creating linked services for this data lake, Azure SQL for all these things. Data sets, creating data sets for all the file formats, CSV file, JSON files, Excel files, ORC, Parquet, XML. For all these activities, different types of activities, filter activities, copy data activity, get metadata activity, for each activity, until activity. So different types of activities, filter for each if condition, switch until triggers, different types of triggers, schedule trigger, tumbling window trigger, storage event trigger, custom triggers, integration runtime, auto integration runtime, self-hosted, SSISIR, yes, monitoring ADF jobs, sending failure notifications using logic apps, data flows. What is data flow? Mapping data flow debug, transformations, different types of transformations, filter transformation, conditional split, derived column, exist transformation, union, lookup, sort, group by, pivot, unpivot, flatten, alter row, all these transformations. Validating schema drift, removing the duplicate rows, slowly changing dimensions, SCD type 1, SCD type 2. Nearly around 50 exercises we'll be discussing as part of this course, right? The 50 exercises, you can just check this copy activity, copying from multiple files. So all these things, the 50 exercises. And Azure Databricks, before I go with Azure Databricks, you will be given on this, the prerequisites, we've got some prerequisites for that. I'll be discussing like that. I'll be giving some introduction to this big data, introduction to this, I'll be briefing you about Hadoop, Spark. Before going with Azure Databricks, you'll be briefed with big data, Hadoop and Spark, and like cloud computing. So introduction to this Databricks, creating Azure Databricks service, creating, adding users in groups, creating a cluster, getting started with notebooks and jobs, cluster management, displaying cluster, starting cluster, terminating cluster, deleting cluster, cluster information, cluster logs, cluster access control, types of clusters, all purpose job cluster, Databricks pools, without pools, with pools, cluster mode, standard, high concurrency, single node, Databricks utilities, credentials, data utility, file system utility, job utility, library utility, secrets, widgets, limitations, Databricks integration with Azure SQL database, Synapse, Databricks handling multiple file formats, CSV, JSON, Parquet, Excel, XML, ORC, Avro, historical data load, incremental data load, date transformations, aggregations, joins, window functions, union operations, using all this using PySpark. And what is streaming? Handling bad records, streaming data into Gen2, load data into tables. Difference between data lake and Delta Lake, introduction to Delta Lake, features of Delta Lake, how to create it, DML operations, merge operations, SCD type 1, type 2, handling data duplications, streaming data in Delta Lake, workflows, and creating, running, and managing Databricks jobs, scheduling Databricks jobs, and mentoring Databricks job. Azure Synapse, that is also in brief. Pools, Azure Synapse Analytics to query data lake, storage account integration, Azure Synapse triggers, Azure SQL database integrations, incremental load, logging and notifications, deep dive into copy activity, data flow introductions, different types of transformations, Spark pool introduction to this. Yes, all these things in brief. Right. So, yes, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks. Okay, here let me make timings of this batch. Let me make it clear about the timings. So for all this 120 hours, 3 months, you'll be getting in brief, in-depth knowledge on this. So 3 months for this. So timings, it will be 2 hours. So let me make it clear about the timings. 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Sorry. ADF class will go. 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. ADF class will be there. But so as it is going to take around 120, more than 120 hours, right? Let's say. So parallelly, there will be a ADB classes 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. What is that? Azure Databricks class. 2 hours means it won't start immediately from this. After 3 days from now, this ADB classes will be there at 5 p.m. Means people, if you are unable to spare 2 hours daily, people means many of them will be our job holders. People, this course, if you are you can go with 6 p.m., 7 p.m. ADF class. But later, whenever I start any new ADB batch, you can. But people who want to complete it faster, right? So there is a ADB class going to start 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Right? We can attend both, right? So classes, because it will be like around 120 hours, we'll be discussing in brief with many working examples, many transformations. We'll be seeing many scenarios, right? So to get the command, to get to enter into deep, and that too here, like not like other training sites. If you compare with other training sites, right, they will give just overview of this Spark, but here PySpark entire course will be discussed in this entire PySpark, right? All the functionalities. We have got many things, data frame APIs, right? API. So 2 hours will be ADF will be from 6 to 7, and ADB Azure Databricks will be from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So try to attend, right? If even if unable to make up with 2 hours, you can attend for ADF as of now. Once you get enrolled, you can attend any of my classes, any Databricks class starts, that you can update it later. Okay, course parallelly 2 hours. So 3 months duration, 120 hours is that, right? So what you are going to get offerings from my side. 1 second. Okay. Offerings from my side. You'll be getting each and every session video, live recorded session video. Means each and every, even if you miss any session, right? Even if you miss any session or couple of session because of office timing, because of ill health, right? You can, you'll be getting the recording of the session that day itself. You can go through that recording and you can attend the next session. Secondly, soft copy of this class notes, clear soft copy, everything, it will be clear, right? Clear soft copy of this class notes, and assignments and tasks. Assignments and tasks to work with. A WhatsApp group for technical discussions. You can have direct interaction with me in the WhatsApp group. If you got any errors, you can take the snap of the error and post that in the WhatsApp group. Anybody can answer. I'll be answering it. So whatever we discussed, right, the things, the creations of this data flows, pipelines, all this hands-on, you can do parallelly along with me. Hands-on and interactive sessions, live interactive sessions. Immediately you can ask that if you got any queries or session, immediately you can unmute and you can ask your queries during the sessions. No need to wait. Interview questions and resumes. Yes, yes, Supriya, right? Yes, that's what. Interview questions and resumes. Many interview questions, resumes, everything hands-on. So hands-on, right? And even you will be getting free Azure subscription where you can work with that. How to get the Azure free subscription, and that too, there's some premium things, right? There are some premium things which we'll be working with PySpark or Spark SQL kinds of things with very, very, very less cost. How you can work with that, right? I'll be discussing what you need to do, what you need to delete for performing those things. Okay, so you will be getting this live recorded sessions, class notes, assignments and tasks, WhatsApp group, hands-on live interactive sessions, interview questions, and resumes. All these things, 120 hours, right? You'll be getting videos around 120 to 140 videos you'll be getting. 3 months is the duration, 2 hours per day. So if anyone's not able to spare 2 hours, you can, as of now, you can go with ADF. After that, ADB. After that, Synapse, you can go right. See, yes, for ADF, nearly 45, around 45 sessions. See, for ADF, it will be around ADF, right? Say ETL, around 45 sessions for this ADF. I'll be spending, right? How many sessions for ADF means around 45 sessions for that. What about, yes, Mahesh G, right? What is it? Azure Databricks, I mentioned it, right? ADB and PySpark combinedly. We want to start from basics in this course, PySpark. So here, so I said 3 months, it's a 2 hours class, right? 3 months, right? 3 months means 90 into 2 hours, 180 means 120 to 150 hours you'll be getting. 120 to 140 hours you'll be getting here. Around 150 hours you'll be getting, right? That's why I'm saying 2 hours per day, not like 1 hour per day. So I'm just saying minimum 120 hours, around 150 hours you'll be getting. So that's why I'm asking you people, course for future. Is this good to learn ADF course for future? Yes, 1 second. Good question, right? So if you see the salary package of this Azure data engineer, so means data factory, okay. Databricks, today if you see Databricks and PySpark is very much powerful in today's market, right? Yes. So even if you see the salary package is 1.5 times more as compared with other technologies, right? Even if you see the salary packages of this, especially like this Databricks, PySpark, if you have got no, this is going to add more weightage to your resumes, right? You've got Databricks and PySpark. You can go as a ADF developer, as a Databricks or a PySpark developer, right? But these things will add more weightage. Databricks with PySpark, yes. And if we talk about the job market of right, if we talk about the job market of this data engineer, right? According to the Microsoft, if we talk according to the Microsoft, around lakhs of companies are getting registered themselves on Azure. More than 95% of the Fortune 500 companies are utilizing Azure Cloud. So they in turn increasing the number of job opportunities for this Azure data engineers constantly. Major companies they are beginning and they are going to trust and adopt Azure and organizing shifting to Azure and already they are utilizing it regularly. They need of professionals who can work on Azure and handle huge data, big data, right? Even according to the pay scales, data engineers have got the highest average salary as closely as data scientists. That as per the survey of global knowledge, if you talk like two highest paying jobs, data scientist and data engineers, right? So pursuing the data engineer career will never let you down, right? Yes. So yes, and even if you talk like many companies like Facebook, Intel, Microsoft, Amazon, all they are interested in hiring data engineers. The great salary packages, even the tech giants like Google, Apple, Cognizant, Walmart, all this, they are offering high paying jobs for data engineers. Salary wise, if you take, huge salaries as compared with other technologies, right? So this data engineering, especially this Azure data engineering, right? Even as compared with other cloud, Azure is cheaper, and most of them they are preferring Azure data engineering, right? So salary wise, career wise, like it is one of the best choice, right? So here, as I said, as ADF, there is no need of any coding, no prerequisites. Everyone can update. It's like a drag and drop. Azure Databricks, some prerequisites are there that everything I'll be discussing as part of the course. So like some basics of the big data, and so some basics of Python also required, right? Azure Synapse Analytics. Yes, some queries was asked, right? Yes. If I go to learn ADF course for future, yes, always I was saying, right, for a huge package and also career wise, right? One, um, I have got 3+ years of experience. Anything, right? After the end of this course, right, with 150 hours of this training, right? Around 120 to 150 hours of training, right? You will get a great command on this, right? With many working examples. That to hands-on. I'm saying these are hands-on. You can do all this along with me parallelly. Whenever you get any error, you can share the screen in the Zoom. Will be right. So all the interactive sessions and hands-on sessions, right? It's right.
Sir,
Any
can
weekend
we
class?
practice with the help of single credit card, or do we need multiple credit card?
See, it is most of this for 1 month. It is going to give totally free.
Okay.
But after that, if you want one more, if extend one more free account, you need to go with one more credit card, with one more email, one more mobile number. You need to go with any of your uh, parents or relatives. Also, it's fine. Just 2 rupees it is going to deduct. Again, it is going to refund. But after that, with the same credit card only, with very less cost, how you can do the practicals? I'm saying, right? You can how to work with. But if you have got free accounts, you can got 1 month free you will be getting, because some services are free for lifelong, some services are free for 1 year, some will be free for 1 month. But here all our services are premium services only, so they'll give free for 1 month only. So if you've got multiple credit cards, every month you will get one free account. But otherwise, with a minimal cost, what you need to delete only to get very less cost, and how to work it, right? I'll be discussing. Any
And
weekend
sir,
classes? Yes.
can we complete the course in 2 months? Like 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. You discussed about two batches. So if I'm following both the batches, can I complete in 2 month whole course?
One second. Uh, 120 hours. Maximum 70 to 80% will be completed.
Okay.
Okay. So you'll be getting 2 months means around 120 hours will be getting, means in a month 60 hours you'll be getting, right? 2 hours. So I'm saying it will go more than 120 hours, I'm saying, right? So 80% of this course will be done. So that's why I'm asking you people to go parallelly to decrease the time bond. Otherwise, it will be more like okay. Fine. Any other queries? Some queries was asked in the chat, right? Okay, looking for specifically for ADB for PySpark. So yes, Mahesh, you right. If you want ADB with PySpark only, especially you are looking for ADB PySpark, you can go with 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. If anyone who wants only ADB PySpark, right? 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. regular batch will be there. Weekend batch it's there, but it's in the middle as of now. One more weekend batch can't be started. So, no, after as of now there is no weekend batch. So that's part of this. Yes, Sindurium, right? At the end, I'll be discussing, right, one flow of the project. Yes, Python coding. Yes, basic Python is required. Not that we're not developing any web applications here. Basic Python. But yes, at the last year, Supriya, I'll be discussing that a project flow, right? From start to end, I'll be discussing one project flow. I'll be explaining a flow, right? Yes. Yeah. So everything in brief, everything like interactive sessions, you can do parallelly. You will get a great comment on this. Yes. So tomorrow also you can attend the session same time at 6 o'clock. Receive more discussion on this. Tomorrow also you can, but from day after tomorrow, the link is going to be changed. You are supposed to get enrolled. So day after tomorrow, a WhatsApp group will be created. Separate WhatsApp groups will be created for ADF, ADB. So you'll be added to the WhatsApp groups, and from day after tomorrow, you'll be getting the videos to your Google Drive, notes to your Gmail. Right. Will there be any change in timings? No change in the timings. So that's why I'm saying, right, this will be the same timings for that what I said. Same thing. There won't be any change. Okay, fine. So if I'm done with the queries, if there are no other queries, I'm signing off for now. Meet you tomorrow, same time at 6 o'clock using the same link. Yes, thank you all for your time. Thank you. Bye.